computer stuffage, which has the big thingies, and it was very odd. That said, hopefully we're back online in a couple seconds. The reality, that we're facing, there we go. We're back up, I think, hopefully. And of course it creates a whole new stream, which is always, come on. Let's grab one more caller since we're kind of near the happy ending, as it were. I don't trust widgets. It's a thing.
Widgets where?
Yeah, huh? I'm not going to say.
What kind of widgets?
The digital widgets. Who do we have, Chicago? Who do we have on the line?
Up next is Robert from Nevada.
Oh, cool. Hey, Robert, welcome.
So I guess I'm the happy ending.
It's up to no pressure. Right.
Thanks, man. Hey, I like watching your show as much as I can, so I appreciate what you're doing. Can I make a comment about Trump? Because you were talking about that earlier in the Maxwell case and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. You know about the E. Jean Carroll DNA case, right? Where she was like Monica Lewinsky and has the dress?
Yes, she still has the dress with Trump's DNA on it, allegedly, right?
Exactly. And so that's just a defamation. That's just a defamation case. She can't sue for sexual assault. And Trump is trying to fight that.
Yes.
So not only do you have the DNA from the dress with her, you have the pilot coming out saying Trump's been on the plane. You got the 14-year-old that said that she gave him a hand job, even though in the case.
Right. That she was forced to. Also, I know this is a clarification that gets back and forth, and we deal with this sometimes in the Matt Gaetz stuff, that you cannot, especially in the case of Matt Gaetz and the allegations against him, you cannot have sexual relations with a minor, especially one that is under the influence of drugs or under the or being coerced through the potentiality of violence or the denial of, say, return to their country of origin. If they've been flown to a private island, or been flown to the Caribbean, or just in the air, quite frankly, in a place where they could be, I guess the threat of being kicked out without a parachute is always there. It's never there. These are all, in my estimation, this is how I feel about it, all sexual assaults. Every sexual thing that has occurred is unequivocally a sexual assault, period, regardless of who was involved, as far as the adults specifically in the thing. But but continue. The E. Jean Carroll thing is Trump has been ordered that he must submit a deposition in that case, or was, at least until a couple weeks ago, right?
But what's kind of weird and sick, in my opinion, is the ethics and morals and family values of the people on the right who support Trump. Even with the information that's come out to show that he has done certain things, they still say, well, you know what? I want to see a picture. There's no proof. I mean, how freaking dumb are these people?
Well, yeah.
That with the evidence
they're not dumb
out there, unless go ahead.
They're not dumb. They know that that's their cover. And Trump, by the way, it's Trump doesn't use email. He famously doesn't use email, right? That's what it's well known for.
Right.
And this kind of dovetails into what I hinted at earlier, in that Maddow did this thing about the metadata in the paperwork that came from the White House, from the DOJ, that the White House communications team and Trump's own administration had input on the DOJ paperwork about the January 6th event and or in the November 3rd and trying to flip the election, which they said they didn't, and the metadata in that paperwork is there in that there's a digital trail, and I've been talking about that in terms of the Hunter Biden fake laptop and all that kind of stuff for ages. The same thing is, this is where Trump comes from in this idea, and they know this. Not only they know that they're very careful not to leave a metadata trail, or at least in terms of communications about stuff, So that the video of him, I mean, laughing with Epstein should be a smoking gun for all practical purposes as far as anybody's concerned, because it's gross and obvious that they are close, right? These are guys who hung out alone at a party with nothing but girls in it and the like, and that's how they were known. That was the primary aspect of them hanging out, was sex, essentially. Was that, that from Trump's point of view.
There's just so much relative connection to Trump's perversion, like him saying that if his daughter wasn't his daughter, he'd be dating her.
Yeah.
And again,
he said sex before
a chick and not want to screw her.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is that he even said, they said, what do you and your daughter have the most in common? He said sex. The first word out of his mouth, the fallback.
On multiple platforms.
Yes. That when he was on, I think it was The View or whatever, or when, I think Joy Behar asked him the question on that clip, but the first word out of his mouth was a Freudian slip, essentially. It wasn't, that we're both sexy. It wasn't that if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her. The word sex was his first and primary gut response to that question. And in context to all the pictures of him with her, and there's a reason why, every time, Biden is whispering to a kid and saying, you're going to be just fine or whatever during a picture, they take a still photo of that and make it look like he's sniffing their hair and that kind of stuff. Right. And you take an uncomfortable kid that meets Joe Biden is a kid is afraid for their life and is going to be attacked. An uncomfortable kid around Trump is just un-American. And in this particular case, go ahead.
Yeah, and then he's saying, hey, I can walk into the dressing rooms of the naked underage teens and Miss Teen Beauty contest because I own the pageant.
Right.
When you have the models now grown up coming out and saying, yeah, Mr. Trump would walk in as we're naked, where no man is supposed to be.
Right.
And he goes, don't worry, girls, I've seen it all.
Right. And he would, according to Noel Kassler, he would put his thumbs in their mouths to check their teeth like they were race horses. It was gross. And a lot of it, he's just a hideous dude. He's gross. He's a grotesque human being. He always has been. And again, at a certain point, to your point, what you're bringing up, to a certain point, it's not about him. Just like Epstein, it's about all the other people who are okay tangentially with what they know about this dude, but they let it slide because the benefits outweigh the negatives. And as a society, the upside of what we would perceive as cancel culture and where that was born out of was that there are certain people, while they're welcome to work as a fry cook or get a middle management job someplace, at a certain point, they do not deserve to walk amongst us in the halls of power, certainly, and not have an influence over media, politics, news, any of that stuff, because they are immoral, untrustworthy, disgusting human beings, and any outsized influence they have will be used for criminality, and the worst kind of criminality, the kind of criminality that victimizes children. And
I feel sick. This is our worst happy ending ever.
So
sorry guys,
that's okay. No, it's okay. No, I understand.
Nice job.
We appreciate the conversation, and I do.
Let me say.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let me say one last thing, and I'll go. And the thing is Trump, who said he's going to be the law and order president, and made the comment of, if you have nothing to hide, why are you going to plead the fifth or ignore subpoena?
Yeah.
He's telling every one of his people downline to do the same thing for the January 6th commission.
Plead the fifth, right. Don't show up.
Everything from A to Z that he's ever done.
Right. And it's all coming out. And again, a lot of people are in a big hurry and they wish Trump was in jail yesterday. I, on the other hand, know full well that jail's probably going to be the easiest part of his entire life. It'll be the first time in his life where the pressure is off He's not. He's just gonna. They'll cut his hair, and he won't have that weird flap thing that over the top of his head, and he won't have any bills. And he'll get the first real medical checkup he's ever had, in ages. They'll actually, they'll
louse him and everything.
Yeah, he'll get his first real, he'll see his first real doctor, and he'll probably lay back and be surrounded by guys he can regale with stories of his rich and powerful life, and while he's got broom duty half the week. The lead up is going to be terrible. The Trump is sweating it every day. Appreciate the call. We're out of here because we're out of time.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thanks so much. It's the House Parks Radio program, Mega Worldwide. We're here every Saturday. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I have to run off right away.
Okay.
Because I got to go help my girl film something. So I'm going to. Yeah.
So guys, catch you next week.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Chicago.
Thanks again.
Hold on, let me shut that down, and I'll let you go. And I just want to say, on behalf of everyone in the chat, Johnny, you're a wonderful man. Merry Christmas.
Oh,
yeah.
Right back at you, Hal.
I'm going to do my best at some point around New Year's or whatever to swing through the Chicagoland area, and so hopefully I can, take you and the lady to lunch or dinner or something like that.
I'll
be nice.
Be here. We'll be waiting.
One of my best friend growing up in Kentucky is unfortunately in hospice care now. So I'm gonna, like, around the holidays, I'm gonna take a detour to go check him out, and I was like, there's a lot to it, but I wouldn't have been able to necessarily see him at different times over the last few years.
Sure.
Because of life, his and mine, but it made me kind of reassess, some things. I'm like, I need to go hug some people, and you're on that list. So that's going to happen at some point in the very near future, my friend. So
I hope so.
Yeah,
you're a good hugger, Hal.
It's true. It is pretty spectacular, and the same goes for you, chat. The regular chats that are in here. When I've got live shows, and we're past, the Zeta, the Tiffany, the Ivanka variant, whatever they are. And we're back to, normal glad handing and stuff. You're all getting hugged. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's just going to happen. If you don't want to hug, just stay back 8 feet. That'll mean you want clearance. It's okay. I'll put up a sign. Anyone stepping inside this circle is in hug consent zone.
Hug zone.
Because I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you, Johnny, and I love you guys, and we will see you next week. I'm gonna send. Okay. Bye. Bye, everybody.